that. Once you've drawn the 5 circles, put a H on top of the first one. A H. On top of here, this is any. You just do an any. You don't have to actually look at what I'm doing. Just put a H on top of the first one. Put a P on top of the next one. Put an R on top of the one and not the next one. Put an S. Put a H2. So like there are 2 H's. Put the H2 on the next one. Everybody's life is, in my opinion, summarized. The first H stands for hide. You tell yourself, what am I going to hide from this person? That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do, after you decided what you're going to hide from this person, is you pick between what am I going to tell this person, which is going to fall in one of these categories. Am I going to tell them about success I've had in my life? That's a question mark. Am I going to tell them about a regret I've had in my life? That's a question mark. And am I going to pretend? Which is another question mark. So after you've done the first section of knowing what you're going to hide, you choose what you're going to tell a person. Am I going to pretend about something? Am I going to talk about something I regret? Or am I going to talk about something successfully? Now, there's casual conversations where we're talking about soccer, cars, hairstyles, and the like. But this conversation is when you're talking about yourself. The last thing you do, after you've done all of that, is the hero. It's always how it ends. So then, what are you going to play? Are you going to play the hero in the conversation? That a lot of people live this way. A lot of people live this way not because of something that they have had in their lives or because of somebody who's told them to live this way. We do this because it's kind of like a coping mechanism. Because you know, whenever you meet somebody, like now we've just met, I don't know you, the first thing we all try to do is put our best foot forward. That's what everybody tends to do. You don't necessarily want to show something good about yourself, but you definitely don't want to show something bad about yourself. You want somebody to meet you and think, oh, you know what, that was a nice guy. I don't know many people want to go home thinking, that person found me. Same thing. But in the long time, all the years that I've lived with all the people I've known, the only person who's ever told me a real and genuine representation of myself has never been the successes I've had or the friends I've had. It's always been the failures I've had. The more failures I have, the better a chance I have of being able to find out.
What is that one word that you want people to think about you? When I started speaking and coaching and all this stuff that I do that I hope I'll share with you as we move on, I wanted people to think excellence. You know, that when they want excellence, I want them to look for me. When they're making peak performance, I want them to look for me. Because excellence and peak performance, for me, I think they're one and the same thing. Peak performance are always striving for excellence. I don't know if I've made it, but by the time I was living in the US, I discovered people put fake. Now they say fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not big on fake it till you make it. I'm big on finding out what are your values and then how can you align your actions with those values so that you're known as that person. That is what you start with. That is what we're going to look at a little bit today. The value, when we're doing our brand audit, the first thing that I encourage people when they're doing a brand audit is number one, recall every significant event in your life. You notice when Tony did this, he was recalling significant events in his life that brought about his achievements and everything. Your achievements, your affiliations, your activities, your failures and disappointments. When I did that audit for values, and then finally, rank your essence, align your actions with your core values consistently. If you want to be an excellent person, what are some of the things that excellent people do? And you ask yourself, are you doing those things? Or are you always having an excuse why you cannot do those things? Number one, dress code. Dress code is very important. I like that somebody noted that this is Friday, but Tony, didn't show up here in starting jeans. He had a suit. He's very smart. Because he knows that he's coming to meet with young professionals. And I often say, if you're going to a place and you don't know what the dress code is, I don't know if they tell us in Kenya, but ask. Ask. Because sometimes you may show up with, those Nigerian weekend gears and everybody's looking at you like, woo! So, don't get, just because it's a Saturday, don't assume. Very important. How do you want to be recognized? How do you want to stand out? Once you have all this put together, having your 6 pack, and then have a business card. You know, some people say, oh, well, I'm not the CEO, why do I need a business card? If you're going to execute your brand consistently and you're networking and you're going somewhere that you want to be remembered, have a business card. You don't have to have a company, you don't have to be the CEO. You remember you're managing brand you. Just have a business card that says your name and that thing that you want to be remembered as. Let's say you work for another company, but just have your name and your phone number and your email. Okay, if you have a blog, people are now blogging, you can have your blog there. But that's a good way for people to remember you. As opposed to, okay, let me flash you. And then they flash you. And then, okay, I got it. And then they'll write for you. And then now you have all these names in your phone book and you're trying to think, who is this person? You know, and then even when they call you, but if you have that business card, if somebody takes a business card, hopefully they will treat it right. What I do with my business card when I get home, I write at the back of them where I met the person. You know, I met them at Speak to Africa event on Thursday. And one thing that struck me about that person, I'm big about one thing that struck me about someone, so that I will continue to maintain that relationship. So business card is very important. You don't have to be the CEO. Like I always tell people, if you want to be the CEO, don't wait to be the CEO and start behaving like one. Start behaving like a CEO now. You are the CEO of your life. My oldest son is always talking about being a CEO. Now, what people talk about executive presence, because I told him, your presence and CEO presence.